Welcome back to the workshop. My name's Jack, this is Everyman Builds, and this is an Ooznest Z1 Plus CNC router. It's just not built yet. So what we're going to do is a multi-part series. It'll probably be around 10 or 12 parts of unboxing, assembling and using this CNC. This is in no way sponsored by Ooznest. It was entirely purchased with my own money and will be used entirely by me. In this episode, we're just going to unpackage and see what's in the box. And then starting from the next episode, we will do mechanical assembly, electrical assembly, and then cut a spoil board and have a look at some of the things that it can do. I'm going to start by opening this box, which I think is going to be the wheels, the screws, the bolts and everything. And then move on to this one, which is going to be the rails. If you are thinking about getting one of these, you should probably order now. This one took about 9 weeks to arrive. I believe their lead time is just getting longer as the day goes on. So I've opened the box, and the first thing that you get is the card. There's a card that tells you which model. I got the Z1 Plus and which version you got, so that you can get the right instructions from their website, which is handy. I've got that on my laptop just here. I do also have a paper copy that should help, because then I can scribble all over it and make certain notes. And then we've got a box of paper. So inside the box, we've got cable ties for keeping everything nice and secure. I've got a surfacing bit. So I ordered a surfacing bit to come with the machine as an optional extra. That will help when doing the spoil board in a later episode. I do have a surfacing bit for my 3018, but this one is a tiny bit bigger and a known brand, whereas the other one was a cheap bit to get a job done. Right, so we'll keep this to one side, keep it in there. I also got a set of, no, this isn't the one that I'm looking for. This one is the extras. So there is an eccentric spacer spanner, they call it, which is the spanner just to adjust the eccentric spacers, which we need to keep very, very safe. They've got a little box of extras, they call them. It's got some Ooznest stickers and some sweeties. And it also has, which I wasn't expecting, 2 end mills. So there's it calls a calibration end mill, which is 0.006 inches or 6/1000ths of an inch. It just looks like a V cut or an engraver bit. It's a 30-degree bit and a square end 2-flute upcut bit, and that is a 1/4 inch. And that'll just get everybody going if you don't get the extras, and the kids can have my sweets. So I'm going to find the other box for these bits, and that's here. So I got a set of end mills for a Katsu router, and I got a Katsu router as an optional extra with this. I do have one in my router table. It works very well. So I figured I would get one for this as well. They're fairly inexpensive compared to the dedicated spindle. And if I get on with the machine and I get a lot of use out of it, I will probably upgrade to a spindle in future, which will reduce the noise, hopefully give me a more consistent cut, and last longer than a router. I may even be able to control it from the duet board, I don't know. But in the end mill kit, we've got some more paper. And we have an engraving 2-flute upcut 90-degree bit, which is 0.05 of an inch, which I think is about 0.1 of a millimeter or something like 0.125 of a millimeter. We've got a 1/16 inch 2 flute ball end upcut bit, a 1/8 inch 2 flute ball end upcut bit, and a 1/4 inch ball end 2 flute upcut bit. We have a 1/16 square end 2 flute upcut bit, a 1/8 inch 2 flute square end upcut bit, and a 1/4 inch 2 flute square end upcut bit. I'm going to put the other 2 bits in there so that everything's together. And now I have a nice selection of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bits, and also comes with a collet nut as well for, I think some of these are 1/8 inch or 3.175 millimeters. Like this one, for example, is a 1/8 inch shank. So I need to put the extra collet in. So I'll keep those there, put the stickers with the sweeties. What else have we got? So we've got the drag chains. That will keep all the cables nice and secure. We've got a router mount, because I went for the Katsu router. We've got the 65mm mount. Again, if it gets to it and I replace that with a spindle, then I'll get a different mount. I also got the XYZ touch probe, which I want to have a look at. It looked quite nicely machined on their pictures, but that may just be marketing. That is a very nice piece. So it looks like aluminium actually, but that doesn't make sense. Might be. Either way, there's a touch probe. The thickness of the probe is the Z offset, so when you do the probing, the thickness is added to get the correct Z depth, and you've got these bits on the outside to get the X and the Y offset. That will help keep a consistent home position and hopefully make the most use out of material, the most repeatability, and if I need to do a tiling feature where I cut or engrave half of a sheet, some of a sheet, move it along and cut the rest, I can then use this to get the X, Y and Z correct. We've got brackets and spacers. Lots of other boxes, some hardware, which I suspect is just the screws and things. Yep, so we've got button head screws, M5 cap head, M5 bolts, blah, 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 lots of stuff in there. We have stepper motors, which are quite a big hairy box, so they're probably going to be good stepper motors. We have motion, which I believe is the wheels and things like that. Yep, so we've got wheels and bearings in here. So we will keep that to the left side as part of mechanical. We have wires. Now I got the 1500 by 1500 CNC router. It comes with, it's about a 1270, I think, millimeters cut area. So it's about 4 and a bit foot, 4 foot 3 inches, I think, something like that. 4 foot 3 inches by 4 foot 3 inches. Anyway, you can move material through it. It's 1500 for the actual base. But I think the total footprint is somewhere around 1620, I read somewhere. But we'll see once we've assembled it. We've got some mounts. We'll put that this side as well. No, running out of space. We'll put it this side for now. I'm going to move the box. We have controller. So I got the Wi-Fi version. I do have Wi-Fi in the entire workshop. And it's still good down this end. It's even outside. I've got good Wi-Fi. So it shouldn't be a problem. If it becomes a problem, I'll get an access point and plug that in down here or somewhere in the workshop, and that will sort that. We have aluminium plates. I like that they're aluminium and not things like Bakelite or however you pronounce it. Not really a fan of that. We have the Katsu router. Again, I have one of these already in my router table. It's a very capable machine for the price, and if anyone is looking for a palm router and doesn't have an awful lot to spend or doesn't want to spend an awful lot, these are very capable machines. No problems there. And last but not least is the power supply and emergency stop. And that's one of the things that I liked about this machine, is the ability to have the emergency stop. Something's going wrong, press a button, everything cuts out. No need to worry about going over to the power supply and switching it off. It's just press a button, done. Big red button or big whatever colour button. Let's have a look and see what colour button it is while we're here. Getting out of breath now with this unboxing. Big red stop button, big thick cables too. Stop. Stop. So that is a good bonus. All of the lead screws and things are in this larger box here. I'm going to leave those until I actually need them. I'll open that as we go along. The main bit was to see what's in the heavy box. And this is everything here. That's it for this episode. The next episode will be the mechanical assembly, or step 1 of the mechanical assembly, which is the motion box for the wheels. And it will also then be step 2, which is the Y-plate assembly. So join me for that one. See you in the next one. Take care.